Hello lovelies, and welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Katya, and today we are going to be getting into episode 5 of 100 Days My Prince. So let's quickly review what happened in episode 4. So basically what was happening in episode 4 was Yiso and Wonduk kind of working through their relationship that they are now in. Episode 4 started off with them, escaping from being trapped by those bandits that the dad hired in order for them not to cross the mountain because, he's trying to keep this lie under wraps. And it is just so crazy the lengths they are all willing to do and go through to keep this lie going. And even Yiso too. She's trying her best to really keep this lie going that she knows who Wonduk is and that they had this previous relationship. What was going down basically the whole time was Wonduk, Crown Prince, he collected some debt after he went shopping around and wanted to have some nice items in the house that he is in because he's just not having this poor life. He is not living this life. He's just, not here for doing chores and work. He just wants a leisurely thing filled with nice, beautiful items. And, he gets into debt after signing like a contract for some money, and Yiso tries to get it back, but it does not work, and now they're stuck with all this debt and they gotta pay it off. And he kind of gets at one point where he's like, I don't feel like I'm Wonduk, and mostly in the sense that he's like, I just don't respond to the name, it doesn't feel like my name, I don't like any of these things that everyone else has to do, like the working and stuff. He's like, I think I'm someone else. And Yiso's just like, you're crazy, you just have amnesia. And the dad's just like, clearly he knows he's not who he is, and they're just trying to keep this going. At one point we do get a moment between Yiso and Wonduk that she kind of uses to her advantage to keep this relationship going, or trying to make a connection with him. She uses the memories she has with the Crown Prince, who she doesn't know who that is, who she's speaking to, of, when they were kids, under the cherry blossoms, making their promises to, that he would always love her and he would marry her and this and that. And she uses that to her advantage and uses that as like, oh, that's what you said to me, that you would marry me, and those were your promises. And it's kind of like a revelation for him because he's like, I don't feel anything for this woman. He's like, I said that to you. And it's kind of like a nice little moment that he's like starts to actually start thinking about it, the relationship they probably had before, because he does not feel anything right now. And then the father-in-law, I'm forgetting the name of his position right now at the top of my head, but the Crown Prince's father-in-law is, plotting once again because they're desperate at this point. His team is desperate to find, who they think is the Crown Prince's body, who they shot over into the river, and they just cannot find it anywhere, so they devise a plan to head up back to the mountain, where the whole assassination thing had went down, and they're gonna try to see if they can find his body, for the one last time, because he's like, I'm not gonna be able to rest peacefully until we find that body, and obviously no one else is gonna either, until they have like proof that he's actually dead. And then the Crown Prince, is doing this one last job now that there's people on the mountains. The men in the village are taking like water up to them and this and that, and so he's helping out to earn some money. And while he's up there, he starts getting, flashbacks. He starts getting like headaches. His like mind is starting to like see the images of when they were getting attacked, before he hit his head, had his accident, and it gets him to the point where he passes out. So the episode basically ends off with him, being returned back to his house, and Yiso goes, checks on him, and she's like, getting angry at him because he didn't finish the job, and she's like fed up with him, thinks he's making like excuses not to work, and he's just having a full-on moment because, his head's probably like, all in a fuzz, trying to get through these memories, and he tells her like he wants to understand like what their relationship was and how he loved her, which is so cute. Which is so cute that he said that, that he wants to understand like what this relationship that they had was, because he obviously doesn't remember anything because there's no memories to remember between the two of them as adults. So that's basically where the episode ends off, and he like passes out in her arms. So I'm assuming that's basically where the next episode will pick up from. I don't know. But I'm really curious to see how their relationship is going to start progressing. I think this is where that's going to start picking up, is maybe them starting to spend more time together, you know, getting to know each other maybe a little bit more. I have no idea when his memories are really going to come back, but at least we got some flashes in this past episode, so maybe we'll get some more in this one as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into the next episode. Alright, so that was the end of episode 5, and honestly, I really enjoyed this episode. It was really nice to really focus a little bit more on the relationship between Yiso and Wonduk, and, you know, just kind of see them get a little bit closer this episode. You know, obviously he's trying to develop something, you know, within himself, you know, his own feelings, this and that. I think there's some progress being made. Although he got very frustrating with the whole debt thing, you know, they could have paid it off, well, not paid it off, but, you know, gone, you know, forgiven for it if they just returned all that stuff. And he was like, no, I can't do it, gotta live with my nice things. And, you know, I would have been really annoyed too, you know, because you're at this point, right? Like, they're trying and he's just not wanting to do anything that's uncomfortable for him, which is very funny. On one side, but also annoying on the other. Now that they have found his personal guard's body, and his clothing and everything, they're like, oh, the prince is dead, obviously, and I get, like, he's, like, just wanting to put an end to it and just say, like, the prince is dead, and then they could continue on with their plan, you know, to keep the crown princess safe. But, you know, obviously he's still out there somewhere, you know, so... I mean, I know it's just gonna be more troublesome in the end for him, you know, because now he's got to send Yiso's brother to go try to find him, and he's gonna go back to the mountain. Hopefully he sees Yiso. I don't know. I mean, will they even be able to recognize each other? They haven't seen each other since they were kids. I mean, she doesn't even recognize, you know, the crown prince. So I mean, granted, she grew up with her brother, so maybe she would recognize him. I don't know, but you know, still, there's some problems there. I'm forgetting what his position is, but the concubine's son, because I'm forgetting his name, I need to remember it, and I haven't done it yet. But what an interesting thing we learned about him, that he can't, like, recognize people's faces. Like, that makes so much sense now as to why he, like, I remember in one of the episodes I was like, why can't he recognize the crown prince's face? And I guess that was why. So that makes more sense now. Interesting, also a little fact that we found out with the brother. The crown prince's brother, you know, likes the crown princess. I'm assuming that's what they were saying, which is so interesting. I would assume he's not. I would be shocked if he was the baby daddy. But I don't think it'd be shocking. I'm gonna hold it out in my head that Yiso's brother is gonna be the baby daddy, but who knows, you know, I'd be really shocked if it was that younger brother, like, genuinely shocked. That'd be the most shocking thing I think that would have happened in the show for me. I totally forgot my fan was on during, like, a good portion of this episode, so I'm sorry if it was really loud at one point, because my mic is, like, right here, and the fan is, like, right here next to me, and I didn't even realize I still had it on, like, on full blast, so I apologize if there was noise, for the episode and so on and so forth. The episode has ended on a pretty good note, you know, with them kind of being in this little space where I think they're gonna be getting more romantic with each other. They're working into a relationship, like, at least to have a good relationship in general, and it seems that he's starting to get feelings of some sort with her. It's funny because he said it, he's like, I think I'm remembering something. I wonder what that even means, because I'm like, what are you remembering? But who knows? It's probably nothing. It's probably not even really a memory. Who knows what he's gonna say in the next episode? It could be nothing at all. But I'm hoping that the concubine's son, again, I need to remember his name, the officer, is able to find some more leads about the crown prince and investigate further and just get on this. Hopefully he can get into something and is able to, you know, find the crown prince in this village. I don't know, it may take a minute. You know, we're only on episode 5 and there's 16 episodes, so we're almost a third of the way. I guess you could say we're a third of the way through this show, so let's just see what happens next. And also, you know, the whole thing with him and Yiso That was a whole other thing. It was so funny. Her going and them having like that little conversation. He was kind of like flirting with her, obviously, and she's all like flustered by it because she's like, wait, well, I'm a married woman now. Can't be out and about doing this. I still don't get why she just didn't do her hair up like a married woman. Like she had a hair stick like the dad gave her. She could have just used that, but I guess maybe it doesn't look as sophisticated for like a woman who'd live there. I don't know, but I mean, it is what it is. She's there for a night and then she leaves anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I really did not consider the fact, like, over the years, like, her thinking when she didn't meet her brother every year that she's thinking he's just dead. And I really just didn't consider that. I thought she was just thinking he never showed up. I'm so dumb. But, you know, hopefully, maybe with him going to the mountain, they'll see each other, or maybe he'll see her. You never know. And I need answers. I need answers as to why he's working for the left state chancellor, what is the position name? The father-in-law. That's all we need. That's all I need. I need to know that. That is like one of my big things that I need to know with this show, is like why he's working for him. I'm hoping at one point it'll explain soon. I really can't take it much longer. But that is it for today, lovelies. That was a great episode. I can't wait to watch episode 6. So I will see you in the next one, lovelies. Bye.